Zubaan is actually a very interesting word. It means many things. It means mouth, it means tongue, it means speech, it means language, and it also means your promise, your word. Like I give you my word, I give you my Zubaan. So it means all these things, and in the film, all these meanings make sense in the film. So and since the film is about music, since the film is about your voice, it's about your inner voice, it's about keeping promises and secrets, I wanted to use the word Zubaan. I thought it was an apt title. Go. I'm Mozez Singh. I have no educational background in film. I have no formal training. I'm completely self-taught. I went to boarding school in India, and then after that I went to America. I studied in Boston at Tufts University for 4 years, where I studied English and political science. I did not study film. And after that, I lived in New York for five years, where I worked with a record label. And I worked in the music industry for five years, which was amazing. And I was working with DJs, and I was working in the dance music world. And then I started to kind of get involved in the music video production angle of the thing. And that was the first time I was really actually on set when music videos were being made. And they were being shot and produced and directed by amazing directors. And that's when I realized that this is what I really love. And then I moved back to India, I moved to Mumbai, started my own production company. I did a lot of stuff in television, TV, commercials, music videos, all of that stuff until the movie, and now it's movie. So my background and my education has come from learning at work. My film Zubaan is the coming-of-age story of a young man who has a fear of music. It's the journey of how he finds himself through music, how he loses himself through music, and music in the film is used as a metaphor for faith. So essentially it's a journey about a boy who loses his faith and then finds his faith again. And in doing so, finds himself. The idea came from a very personal place. It's not my story, but I as a person have a lot of faith. I as a person believe in the idea of faith. I enjoy believing in the idea of faith, and I'm often fascinated by people who don't have any faith. I'm like, how do they live? What do they lean on when things get tough? Who do they thank when things are great? And I wanted to tell a story about someone who was actually faithless and then is proved wrong in that journey and finds himself through the faith. The main character in the film is being played by a young boy called Vicky Kaushal. Zubaan is his first film, and I have been writing this film for 7 years. It was a very challenging film for me to get started, but eventually when it got started, because I had written it for 7 years, I was very clear about what I wanted in the main character, and I auditioned for 8 months, and I must have rejected around 300 or 400 actors. And then finally I found Vicky, and he had never done a film before, and he came for the audition. He was amazing, and he got the part. I mean, I auditioned him for 8 days non-stop just to make sure that he was really what I thought he was, and he got the part. So that happened very nicely. The girl's part is played by Sarah Jane Dias, who was the first one to be cast actually. She came, she auditioned, I said I want her. It was very simple. And the other actors I found all through my casting directors. So it was a process. The whole thing took around 5-6 months to cast the film. Yeah, but I think I really got the actors I deserved. I think I really got the actors the film deserved, the story deserved more than anything else. We shot this film over 70 days, but it was split up in different schedules. So with the first schedule was the longest. It was around 45 days, and then after that we had one of 10 days, then another different one of 10 days, so it was like that. So it was shot over a period of around 5 months actually, because we had to wait for the seasons to change and all kinds of things to happen. one hand, it's very traditional because it speaks about Sikhism and the Sikh faith and prayer and the Sikh temple, the Gurdwara, it's called, all of that. And on the other hand, it's extremely modern. So I wanted all of those kind of worlds to merge together very seamlessly and everything to come together very nicely. So there's a way, and I don't know how to ever describe it in words, but I know how to do it in my head, how to put all of it together. And I'm very clear about what I want. So when I sit with my cinematographer or when I sit with my production designer, I tell them that this is what I'm looking for. I work, I think, in colors. So I said, okay, for this particular sequence, I want this color tone. For this particular sequence, I only want whites. So I think like that. And I love working with the walls and then matching that to the clothes and, you know, making everything look seamless or making it clash just so that it's interesting and it evokes thought and dialogue. So there was a lot of thought that was put into that, but it's just something which is in my head all the time. I did not work on a storyboard with this film. I would like to try that method for my next film, and let's see whether it works for me or not. But for this film, I didn't. All the storyboards were in my head. So I was just like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I was really lucky that I worked with a lot of amazing people who understood what I wanted. It was shot in CinemaScope, and that was always the plan. On a red camera, it was digital. In 4K resolution. The DCP that was screened last night at the Stuttgart Film Festival was a 4K DCP. The film is essentially about music and sound. Obviously, music and sound play a very important part in the film. They're not almost, they are a character in the movie. So when I was writing the script, I was writing the songs into the story, and each song had a purpose. It had to push the story forward. That was the intention of each song. So each song was written very specifically, and each song told its own story that took the bigger story forward. And I had an amazing music director. His name is Ashu Pathak. We are extremely good friends, and he understood exactly what I wanted, and we sat and we used to sit in the studio, and I used to give him the brief, and 2 days later he would come out with the song. It was really simple. It was really, really simple. And even the sound design, the background score, all of that was designed by him, and we spent a lot of time working on it. One of the producers on the film, Shan Vyas, also worked very much on the background score. So there were a lot of us who were really enthusiastic and a lot of us who were really involved in the making of the sound, and that's how it happened. When I was shooting the scenes, I almost knew at that point in time that this is the background score that's going to be playing in this kind of background score is going to be playing in this scene. I think the sound and picture quality at the Stuttgart cinema where the film was played last night is as good as cinemas anywhere in the world. And it was very good. It was very good. It was very comfortable. The sound was a bit low in the beginning, so I asked them to kind of turn it up. But after that, there was absolutely no problem with the sound. All the picture quality, the film looked really pretty. Yeah. This is the only cut. One day I'll sit together and make a different film out of all the stuff that I edited out of the movie, because there's a lot of stuff that we took out, but there's no cut. This is just stuff that's lying in a bin somewhere, in a computer. But this is the only cut that was ever made. There's only one cut. The only difference is that the Indian cut has an interval, which they don't have in the West. So that's the only difference. But otherwise, there's no other difference. We had our censor meeting, lasted for precisely 5 minutes. There was nothing. There were no cuts. It came out on the 4th of March. It was around 550 prints. It's smallish. I mean, there are films that come out with fewer prints than that even, but it's definitely not big. It's on the smaller side. We got a lot of critical acclaim. A lot of people loved the film. Unfortunately, not many people went to see it because I think India is really, films in India are really run by the Bollywood star system, and we don't have any big names attached to this movie. So I wish more people had gone to see it, but regardless of whoever went to see it, they really loved the film, and I'm very happy with whatever happened. I worked really hard on making this film, and I feel that my success lies in the fact that I made it, I released it, people went to see it, and I'm working on my next film. So, you know, it's all good. Everything takes its own time to happen. My education has come from watching other people's films. So there are thousands of directors whose work I love. It's a very tough question, and I'm never able to answer this question, because there are too many directors, and I watch everything. I watch Indian films, obviously, but I watch a lot of Hollywood films, a lot of world cinema from all over the place. So it's very tough to say who I'm influenced by and whose work I love, and it also keeps changing, you know. So I can't answer that question. All I can say is that I am a fan and a lover and a devotee of cinema, and I love a lot of people's films. I just saw something in the cinema. It was a Bollywood film, and it was a movie that just came out in India called Udta Punjab, which is a very, very good film. It's about the drug menace in the state of Punjab, where ironically Zubaan is also shot, and it's a very different story, and it has some amazing casting, amazing acting, and it's a really good film. It's a really good film. You guys should watch it. I'm actually writing and developing 3 different scripts right now. It's all still very early. I don't know which one of them is going to develop the best, but whichever one develops the best is going to be my next film. But I will only know that answer in 6 to 8 months from now, so I don't know which one. But they're all very different. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I don't want to keep making the same film again and again. I want to keep trying different genres, different things. So they're all very different from Zubaan. Zubaan was, as it is, my first film, so it came from a very personal space. Now I've explored that, and I've gotten that out of me. Now I'm on to other things. So let's see.
मुझे सब कुछ चाहिए था, कुछ बनना था किसी की तरह, जीना था किसी की तरह।
मीट दिलशेर सिकंद।
ये वो सब करता है जो मेरे पापा करते हैं, सिर्फ एक चीज नहीं कर पाता। He can't talk like him. बैठ जा पुत्र।
डिलीवरी बॉय और मालिक का फर्क इसे कभी नहीं भूलना चाहिए।
मैं तुझे जनरल मैनेजर बना रहा हूँ।
तुम्हें पापा ने नौकरी पे रखा है, गोद नहीं लिया है।
पर मैं कितना गलत था।
आखिरी बार कह रहा हूँ दिलशेर, वापस चले जा।
भाग रहा था मैं खुद से।
तुम्हारा नाम?
भूल गए जी मैंने।
Music is my art, music is my home, music is my heart, music is you and me alone.
जानते हो, जब तुम गाते हो तुम हकलाते नहीं हो। शायद तुम्हारी जुबान तुम्हें कुछ बताना चाह रही है और तुम नहीं सुन रहे हो।
इसी के लिए पैदा हुआ था मैं, इसी के लिए मरूंगा।
सिंह हीरो सिंह।
खुद से खुद को रिहा दे, अपनी आवाज को जुबान दे।